I rhyme for my life, I rhyme for my pay, I rhyme for my people out here doing it every day. I rhyme for the raw heads, I rhyme to the beat, I rhyme for the ears that been keeping it to the street. I rhyme for my life, I rhyme for my pay, I rhyme for the people out here doing it every day. I rhyme for the raw heads, I rhyme to the beat, I rhyme for the ears that been keeping it to the street. The underground overlord coming to town, oh my god, raw heads, you know my squad, real shit, no facade.
Hey everybody, I'm Randy Silvas.
And I'm Tony Mollick.
Welcome back to Slotrods and welcome to our 2024 Slotrods Street Division List Race.
It's time again for the Halloween Shootout, but before we let the Pro Mods loose, we're going to let the Street Division have one last list race for the year.
The next time we see the street cars will be before each underground race in 2025, but we'll tell you a bit more about that later.
For today's list race, we're going to be using our Traxxas automatic starting light.
When the yellow light stops flashing, a white light will follow after a random length of seconds. You're watching for the white light, cause that's go time.
When we last left our Street Division Top 10 list in July, this is what it looked like.
I pulled Lambo and Spirit of 57 from the list cause I just couldn't make it to the shootout this year.
Which moves Snakebite to number 8.
And brings Copperhead and Prince into the top 10.
Which bumped everybody in the top 20 up 2 spots, leaving us 18 cars competing to get on or stay on the top 10 list today.
For those of you who are watching the list race for the first time, we do 3 rounds of racing. The first round, even numbers call out from the bottom to the top. Everybody gets a race.
Rounds 2 and 3, the winners will be able to call out the car above them.
If you lose a race, you have to race down before you can call up. And that includes number 2.
Which can lead to some interesting situations, such as what we have now.
The Kane Racing team owns the top 2 spots, 911 in the first spot and Pink Lady in the second. As long as they have them 2 spots, number 2 sort of acts like a guard for the top spot.
So even when they have to race each other, it doesn't matter who wins because you still have a guard at number 2.
And you better believe the rest of the top 5, they're going to have their sights on changing that today.
First, we need to make our way up the list from the bottom. Number 18, Night Wolf, calls out Deluxe for the number 17 spot.
Rolling. Camera 2. Rolling. Camera 3. Rolling. Drivers ready? When the white light comes on.
Ah, well, we open with a change on the list.
Deluxe sticks the tires and comes out of the slotted starting line. And that drops Deluxe to number 18 and brings Night Wolf up to number 17.
Up next, Flamethrower calls out McMullet for the number 15 spot.
Drivers, when you turn white, go.
Both cars break the tires loose at the starting line.
Flamethrower takes the lead at camera 2. And the victory, moving Flamethrower to number 15.
And now Lil Demon is calling out Unleashed for the lucky number 13 spot.
They left it right about the same time, but the little Dodge ran out of top end and Unleashed retains his number 13 spot.
Which means number 12, the Eliminator, calls out Spearmint for the number 11 spot.
Yeah, it's very possible either one of these cars can break into the top 10 today.
When you're only racing 3 rounds, every win is that much more important.
And each loss is that much more devastating.
If you can't beat the car in front of you, it's easy to get caught up treading water and not getting ahead.
Eliminator gets off to an immediate lead.
But Spearmint comes around on the big end for the win and manages to hang on to his number 11 spot.
Which means Prince would really like to beat Copperhead for the number 9 spot, leaving 2 Moton cars left to scrap it out with each other.
When 2 teammates have to call each other out, they could start flipping spots back and forth, and that could take a while.
For the first of our top 10 cars, Prince calls out Copperhead for the number 9 spot.
Copperhead has electrical issues at about the 100-foot mark, and he stalls out long enough to let Prince have an uncontested run.
That puts Prince at number 9. That leaves Copperhead and Spearmint to square up in round 2.
Up next, Snakebite from Motown tries to get out of the number 8 spot by calling out Big Daddy from the 412 with the Olds.
Now that's a drag race.
The Olds got the jump and grabbed a 1-car lead by camera 2.
But Snakebite was rolling and coming around on the big end. But at the finish line, the Olds wins it by a nose.
Allowing the Olds to keep his number 7 spot and leaving Bob a chance to break into the top 5 by calling out Moxie from the 724.
Oh no, Moxie never does that,
The old Dodge sticks the tires across the center, almost hitting Bob.
giving the 412 4 out of the top 5 spots and knocking Moxie to number 6.
And now, Big Daddy and Thunder Chicken will attempt to give the 412 the top 3 spots to defend by calling out Motown team leader Mark Rendos in Yucca for the number 3 spot.
Come on, Motown. Big Daddy's trying to build a moat around that castle.
And Thunder Chicken sticks the tires just like Moxie did and shoots across the lane, keeping Yucca steady in his number 3 spot and trying to move up before the end of the day.
And probably leaving Moxie just trying to fight his way back into the top 5 by the end of his day.
Leaving Pink Lady calling out 911 for the number 1 spot.
And don't get it twisted. They may be teammates, but Pink Lady wants that number 1 spot back.
911 took it from her in the Father's Day race.
"911 got the jump, and that race was won at the starting line. 911 takes it by about a car length.
Which brings us to the top of the second round. Deluxe lost his race in round 1 and he's stuck at the number 18 spot waiting for a race.
Nightwolf at number 17 calls out McMullet for the number 16 spot.
Nightwolf won his last race and McMullet lost his last race in round 1, which allowed Nightwolf to call up to number 16.
And for those of you that don't know, that's how list racing works.
McMullet is sleeping at the line, and it looks like Nightwolf is going to make it up the list.
Not so fast, because here comes McMullet on the big end with all the business up front.
Allowing McMullet to keep his number 16 spot.
Up next, the flamethrower at number 15 is calling out Little Demon for his number 14 spot.
And that little demon finally made the pass I've been looking for.
But the question is, can you start getting consistent with it? Little Demon will get the chance to call up at least once today in the 3rd round, and he will be racing the loser of this race.
Unleashed is looking to vacate his number 13 spot and replace the Eliminator at number 12. They pretty much left together, but Unleashed grabbed asphalt first and hurls himself across the finish line.
Giving us a new number 12. But now, that leaves Moton at 10, 11, and 12, all tangled up and eyeballing each other.
And number 11 is calling out number 10, Spearmint versus Copperhead.
Spearmint hesitated, and Copperhead got too far in front to reel him back in.
Leaving Copperhead retaining his number 10 spot while Prince tries to distance himself by calling out Snakebite for the number 8 spot.
Looked like Prince spun a little coming off the line, and there was no way he was going to gather it up in time to take Snakebite. That allows Snakebite to stay at number 8, and Prince vulnerable for a call out in round 3. And if Moxie wants a shot at getting his number 5 spot back, he has to win this race.
Thanks, Randy. No extra pressure.
Pressure wasn't the problem. Moxie sticks the tires and pulls left again, but this time from the left lane, putting him dangerously close to going over the edge.
Moving the Olds to number 6, and Moxie continues his free fall to the number 7 spot.
You know that's 2 spots you lost today. You have to get this thing patched up and working before the next round, man.
And now Bob, after finally cracking his way into the top 5, will attempt to get into the top 4 by calling out Thunder Chicken.
And Thunder Chicken's last race, he did the same thing as Moxie. Let's hope he got it fixed.
Well, Thunder Chicken made a pass that time, but what happened to Bob?
Yeah, that pass was very un-Bob-like.
Yeah, it's very unbobbly indeed.
That means Thunder Chicken will get a chance to call up in round 3.
And he'll be calling out the loser of this next race, Yucca versus Pink Lady for the number 2 spot.
And Pink Lady steals the hit. Gets out about a car length.
And that fabulous Hudson Hornet hangs on for the win.
Leaving 911 safe in that number 1 spot waiting for a call out. And that brings us to our 3rd and final round.
And here's an example of 2 cars getting stuck racing each other. Deluxe at number 18 calling out Nightwolf to get his original spot back.
While Nightwolf tries to stay afloat at number 17.
And Deluxe sticks the tire and fades left. And Nightwolf stays off the bottom of the deck.
And McMullet tries to crack his way into the top 15 by calling out Flamethrower.
And Flamethrower gets the jump. And immediately here comes McMullet trying to take it on the big end.
But it just wasn't meant to be. McMullet finishes the day at number 16 and Flamethrower at number 15.
Up next, I'm going to try to get my little demon to do 2 good passes in a row and sneak that number 13 spot from Eliminator.
Hell no. Tony was waiting for a pizza on the starting line and forgot to go. And Eliminator takes it walking away.
Lil Demon finishes the day at 14, and Eliminator stays in the lucky 13 spot.
Now Unleashed is going to try knocking Spearmint down another spot by calling him out for number 11.
Both cars looked like they spun off the line, but Unleashed gathered it up first and takes the win.
Finishing today at number 11, Unleashed, and at number 12, Spearmint.
And now Copperhead will attempt to get his number 9 spot back from Prince.
And Print says denied. I'm going to keep that number 9 spot.
Copperhead did a hell of a job climbing up the ladder this year, though.
Now Snakebite's going to try and make Moxie take the big goose egg for the day by taking his number 7 spot. Remember, folks, Moxie already dropped 2 spots today by sticking the tires and bouncing out of the slot. And Moxie makes one of the best passes I ever seen him make, and Snakebite loses power at the 100-foot mark.
And Moxie finishes out the year at number 7 and Snakebite at number 8.
Up next, 412 teammates. The Olds will attempt to take the number 5 spot away from Bob.
And Bob fishtails down the track. And the Olds finishes out his year by breaking into the top 5.
And now, Thunder Chicken will once again try to knock Yucca out of the number 3 spot, while Yucca tries to remain the wall between a sea of 412 cars.
And Yucca gets the jump, and the jump was all it took.
And Yucca remains at number 3 and Thunder Chicken at number 4.
We always say you eventually end up where you belong on the list, and with the exception of a couple of cars that had uncharacteristic days and slid a few positions down on the list, that's exactly what we've seen on this last day of list racing for 2024.
But we have one last call out for the day. Pink Lady will get one last chance to try to get her number 1 spot back from 911.
And Pink Lady at least partially spun a gear coming off the line and had to sit and watch 911 walk right out of her life.
And that leaves us with an 18-car pack that looks like this. And a street class top 10 that looks like this.
Congrats to the 412 for having 5 out of the top 10 cars in the street class.
All right then. What's up next for the street class division?
There's going to be 3 underground race nights in January, February, and March of 2025. The underground will be between the pro mods, and before each underground race, we're going to have a series called Race Through the Decades. Each night, the cars will be there to represent their decade. Night 1 will feature cars from the 50s, Night 2 will be the 60s, and Night 3 will conclude with cars from the 70s.
And the pro mods still have the shootout to present, so keep an eye out for a new episode of Slotrods.
So until next time, I'm Tony Mollick,
And I'm Randy Silvas.
and you've been watching Slotrods.
The answer is no, you ain't got a chance. She's out of your league, just let the girl dance. No screaming aloud, though, you just get a glance. Don't try to swing game, yo, just let the girl dance. The answer is no, you ain't got a chance. She's out of your league, just let the girl dance. You can watch a soul blow from a distance, but give her some bass on, let the girl dance.
Now that's a drag race.